Hey, JT is Reborn here, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the DC Universe streaming service that just got announced. Well, it got announced a while back, but we've known about this for a while. But they released a video on it, they discussed what's on it, all the cool stuff. So I got a couple links, got some stuff, we can just, talk some shit. And let's go over this whole thing. So, the other day, DC launched a trailer for it. Let's see if YouTube will play today. This is DC Universe. This video kind of explains things. The Ultimate DC membership. Michelle Pfeiffer. Nice. So exclusive original content series like Titans, Young Justice, Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, and Swamp Thing. Epic animated movies. Blah, blah, blah. Legendary films. It's written for. And it's also going to include comic books on top of all that. DC Universe Rebirth Special. So there's also a community tab, which they're showing little brief stuff there on it. You get to explore things, connect. There's Lex Luthor from Superman the movie. So here we have the front page right here. As you can see, we got some old stuff, like there's Batman Beyond. So they're gonna add a bunch of retro shows as well. So let's look over this. Let's read. There's Brenton Thwaites as Robin. So we can just move this to your universe. You can watch this. Blah 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 blah. You can sign up for the newsletter, which I already did. Here we go. So, it's going to include epic animated movies, which we know. Some old ones like Flashpoint Paradox and The Dark Knight Returns. Two really strong movies. Let's keep this tab moving. Classic stuff like Superman the movie. Which is cool here. We're also going to get Batman the Animated Series in full-blown HD, as well as Wonder Woman, the TV series starring Linda Carter. That should be really cool. And one of the big factors about getting this service, too, is on top of all that, you're going to get comic books. Now, the comic book industry has been kind of on the down low for a while now. And I think that this is a great way to hook fans in and get new comic book readers on top of that. Because you got some of the old stuff. It's just like, I'm not going to go and buy comic books. Ooh, but if it's presented to me, I might get invested. And I might get curious and might want to start reading some stuff. So the way I think of it, it's going to be like digital comic books, which is the way I pick up comic books for the most part now. There's some stuff I, pick up in print and, physical or digital is most of my... See, I'm losing track of what I just said. There's some stuff I pick up in print. Action Comics 1000, that's when I picked up in print. Doomsday Clock, every issue of Doomsday Clock I picked up in print, like the original, issues. And also, I picked up Super Sons, the trade paperbacks. And it's just some of the stuff I really like, I get in trade paperbacks. So, there's that. But this is a great way to get people who aren't necessarily into the actual comic books themselves, they're here for the original content, to, start getting into the comics and then start picking stuff up. So, it's a complete package deal, which is pretty sweet. Comic book reader, you can read them on your TV. But the thing with comic books, though, like where I sit, a good distance away from my TV. So, I wouldn't necessarily want to read comic books, by just clicking the remote like this. But the option is there, so that's always cool. Some exclusive merchandise, which should be nice. There's, Justice League, Batman, and Superman. And then you can connect with the community. Like, you can be friends with this guy right here. Spot on Green Arrow cosplay, by the way. Like, this dude looks straight out of the comic books. That's quite impressive, actually. It's really good. So let's also go over some of the exclusive content that's been confirmed to come to the streaming service. So as we can see, the long-awaited third season of Young Justice Outsiders, which was supposed to come out this year, but is coming out next year, which is unfortunate we have to wait longer, but it gives me a chance to sit back and rewatch the whole series, which you should do. Young Justice Season 1 and 2 were incredible, and they also had tying comic books. I didn't get to read the third and fourth volumes. I have volumes 1 and 2, but they're set in that same continuity. Young Justice, incredible show, well worth checking out. You should do yourself a favor. It's quite special. So as you can see there's Brenton Thwaites. This is kind of like a little preview of what the app's going to look like. Let's see if we can click this here too. Batman the Animated Series. So we've got movies like The Dark Knight, Throne of Atlantis, Gotham by Gaslight, Superman Doomsday. The DC Universe is so much more than a streaming service. It's a welcoming place for everyone to immerse themselves in their own level of DC fandom with epic character stories and then come to expect. DC Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee said, we're investing a lot in creating original high-quality shows, including the new Titan series and creating the most beloved nostalgic content. So, one of the things that's selling me on the service, I'm going to get it regardless because I'm really looking forward to Young Justice. And Titans looks great. The production value looks pretty good. I've heard that the Titans show is actually supposed to be like a really adult kind of R-rated show, so I'm all for that. I'm like, we get the stuff for the young kids with Teen Titans Go, and we get the stuff for the adults with Titans. So as you can tell, it looks pretty great. So these are the original series coming out for it: Titans, Doom Patrol, which is going to be a spin-off set in the same universe as Titans. Swamp Thing, which is James Wan is producing, and I heard he's directing the first episode. Young Justice, as we said before, and an adult Harley Quinn animated series. Then these are the classic movies and TV shows, the four Superman movies, Batman Begins, Dark Knight. I'm sure they'll add more stuff as they go along. They're going to add Dark Knight Rises and all that. Oh, Teen Titans, that entire show is going to be added to that, so that's great. Maybe they'll add a 6th season of Teen Titans, which will go exclusively to the streaming service app. Actually, Teen Titans is so popular, I think if Teen Titans Go to the movies does well, they might add another season, because it's a pretty big show. Young Justice is going to get added to there, so that's great, so you can watch that. Static Shock, I own most of Static Shock, just not all of it, but a good chunk of it. Lois and Clark, the only season of Constantine, Adventures of Superman, the Max Fleischer stuff, Superboy, Batman the Animated Series, Wonder Woman 77. Hopefully they add, the new Batman Adventures, Justice League the Animated Series. They start to add all that stuff to it, that'll be pretty great. Some animated movies, here's just a few of them. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, which should be cool. Some comic book series that they announced that they're adding to it. Some older stuff here. Let's see if there's some newer stuff. I'm sure they'll eventually add some newer stuff in there, but this is a good starting point for fans of this stuff. So there we got that. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. Doom Patrol, there's just the logo. This thing takes a while to load. This is on GameSpot.com. There's the logo for Harley Quinn. I opened another tab for the synopsis on some of the other shows. I think that's comic book stuff there. Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing, man. James Wan making a Swamp Thing? That should be great. These are just logos and images. This is the first look that we had at Brenton Thwaites as Robin. As you can see, the suit is a lot brighter than the follow-up image that we got released. Obviously, it's been darkened a bit to make it look tougher and grittier. And then just Young Justice. Just a still image right there. There's Tim Drake, spoiler. I think that's... I can't recall everyone in this photo. Blue Beetle. Is that Bart Allen? Arrowhead. I can't remember I don't know all the characters' names in this photo. It's been a while since I watched it. But I opened this tab right here on Deadline, and it runs down some synopsis on some of the shows that we're going to be getting. Titans follows the young heroes from across the DC universe as they come of age and find belonging in a gritty take on the classic Teen Titans franchise. So gritty. Dick Grayson and Rachel Roth, a special young girl possessed by a strange darkness, getting embodied in a conspiracy that could bring hell on Earth. So that's Trigon right there. Join them along the way as the hot-headed Starfire and the lovable Beast Boy together become a surrogate family and team of heroes. So we got that. I've seen the cast members. I've seen some set photos, but we haven't seen everything. We haven't seen official trailer yet, or some official photos of everyone outside of Robin and Hawk and Dove. So I'm looking forward to that. The thing I'm most excited about the show is they're bringing Raven into live action, because Raven is one of my favorite characters of all time. Doom Patrol. I'm not quite familiar with the Doom Patrol stuff. My knowledge of Doom Patrol, a lot of it stemmed from the Teen Titans cartoon, and I have brief knowledge of Doom Patrol, but this is more off-the-wall, crazy DC-related stuff that I'm not quite as into, but I look forward to them bringing it to life. So there's going to be an episode that's going to set up a spin-off series, which is Doom Patrol, so that'll be cool. Swamp Thing sounds awesome. James Wan making it. Can't wait for that. Young Justice, Outsiders, that's the most anticipated thing to the service outside of Titans for me. Because Doom Patrol, I'm I'll go watch a Doom Patrol show. And same with Swamp Thing. But, Titans, that's my team. The Teen Titans, I absolutely love that. Young Justice, Outsiders, which is what fans have been clamoring for. And now they got to this, and it's going to be a lot more adult now that it's on the service. So that should be really cool. And then there's an adult Harley Quinn show. Follows Harley's adventures after she breaks up with Joker and strikes out on her own in this new animated adult comedy with the help of Poison Ivy and a ragtag crew of DC cast-offs. Harley tries to earn a seat at the biggest table in villainy, the Legion of Doom. I heard rumors that Margot Robbie was going to be voicing Harley Quinn, which should be cool. And also we got some classic stuff. So that's the stuff on there. Let's go back to the page. Now let's talk about price for this service. Typically with the streaming services, it's usually about $10 a month. But for this, you're getting a lot more. then I mean, it's obviously all just DC related content, and the hardcore fans, I'm sure, will get this. But we gotta realistically look at the price here. You're not just getting shows, or you're also getting comic books. You're getting exclusive shop. You're getting connecting. I don't think it'll be $9.99. I think it'll be close to around $15 because the world, let's face it, nowadays is no longer just about streaming service. It's kind of moving towards just streaming services primarily. It's not just about like TV. The future is streaming services. Netflix makes a ridiculous amount of money. Hulu does the same thing. You got Amazon Prime exclusive shows, and people are moving away from TV and just kind of looking at just the services themselves. Disney's about to launch one. You got HBO Go. You got, if you're a wrestling fan, you got the WWE Network. It's all about the streaming services. And, we're coming to a point where there's getting to be so many, and everyone's just like, I can't afford all these various streaming services every month. So I'm going to have to drop something along the line. I'm going to have to drop something at some point. So that's very interesting. That's it's just the way the world's going. So, see, I'm losing track of my thoughts. I'm like, I have an idea of what I want to say. So I probably should have just, put out a script and gone over this beforehand, but yeah, it's all improvised, so you get the point. But the way I see the DC streaming service going, I see it being maybe between $10 and $15. I'm going to get it regardless, but not everyone's willing to spend $15, so they might do something where you don't get the comics, and that's cheaper, and it's just the exclusive content. But my rough estimate for the price on this thing, because they haven't listed it yet, is going to be $12 a month. That's the way I see it. If they have it $9.99 a month, that'll sell a lot of people on it. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I'm saying it's going to be like $12 a month. That's my estimate. We'll see how it goes. I'm very excited for this. So, as a DC fan, it's just like I get all this content, I get comic books, and it'll save me money because I've been actually purchasing a lot of this stuff, and it'll help me catch up on some new 52 stuff that I haven't quite read yet. So as long as they add that, and then the community tab should be interesting. Debate and discuss all things DC with legendary talent and fellow DC fans in our fan-focused discussion forums. I'm sure that'll go over well. Knowing the way of the internet, things are going to get hostile, I'm sure. But as a DC fan, this seems like a win-win for me. As long as they have it between $9 and $15, if it gets something like $20, nobody's going to get it. Well, some fans will, but they're not going to do quite well. So I think the max price we're looking at is $15, the low end $9.99. Any more or less won't surprise me. If it's any less than $10, I will be shocked. And if it's any more than $15, I will be shocked. So as long as it's within that, $10 to $15 price range, I think most people will generally sign up for it. But they also want to see the content itself. So, but yep, that's the service. What are you most looking forward to in this new service? Is it just the original content? Is it just going back to watch a lot of the old stuff? Because if you don't actually own the shows, it's a great way to go back and watch all of Teen Titans. You can watch the old Flash show. You can watch the Nolan movies, although they don't have Dark Knight Rises to advertise on here. They don't have the CW stuff, surprisingly, advertised for it. But I think that's because the CW stuff is, in some sort of deal with Netflix and that. So eventually, I'm certain that all that stuff is going to get pushed over here. And I'm sure they'll have some of these animated movies listed here over the course of time. And they'll eventually add more stuff to this. I think they're going to start out initially like, okay, here's our cycle of movies this month, here's our cycle of movies this month, and so on and so forth. But this is a great start for, us DC fans to get into some stuff that they never quite got into, get a chance to see some content that I haven't seen. Like, I've seen all the Superman movies. I've owned all the Batman movies. I've seen Batman Ninja, Birds of Prey, I never watched the show, the Flash 90 show, I've seen the Trickster stuff. That's about it. Super Friends, I want to go back and watch that. Legion of Superheroes, Young Justice, I've seen all. Static Shock, I've seen episodes. I own the show, but I haven't watched all of it yet. Lois and Clark, I never watched that at all. Constantine, I've seen the whole first season. And then some of this Max Fleischer stuff. Batman the Animated Series, obviously, if you follow my channel, I've watched and reviewed every episode. And I've seen some of Wonder Woman 77, but not all of it. So, yep, I'm very much looking forward to this. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think what are you most looking forward to at the DC streaming service? Are you going to pick it up? Are you not going to pick it up? Let me know. We can discuss it below. Sorry if this video, my thoughts are kind of scattered all over the place. Sometimes my improv, unscripted content isn't quite up to par. And sometimes I talk out my ass and so on and so forth. But yeah. Don't know what else to say, but I'm looking forward to it. So, yes. Well, leave a comment below, comment, like, subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications, and we can discuss this DC Universe stuff in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to it. Can't wait. Follow me on social media, twitter.com/SeanJTKing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Take care now. Bye-bye then.